Welcome back to the podcast where guys ages 14 to 26 ask us, a 16 and 17-year-old who have never dated in their lives, dating advice.
Yep.
Yeah, and it's just us back again.
Well, we
It's
have Caleb again,
Well,
but, you know, he's always there. He's like the little
always here.
sidekick who no one cares about.
Oh.
I'm so sorry.
Hey, post in the comments if you're listening to this, post how much you care about Caleb.
Yeah. We're gonna get no comments.
Every time we tell people to say stuff in the comments, nothing happens. Nothing happens.
Oh, man. Yeah.
Or not on the video, in Discord would be a lot better.
yeah.
Because then we can, like, actually... I
Real
don't see
time
stuff.
response.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I guess we'll start answering the questions now.
Yeah.
So, alright, Awesome Pants asks, is it too late for me? I'm done with high school and no girlfriend. Did you not listen to our first podcast where we said wait until after high school to start dating? This is your prime time. This is the start of it. Okay, unless you want to go to college, then keep on waiting. It's good that you have no girlfriend right now.
It's too late.
Yeah, I can...
No, Caleb.
You should be.
I can feel that feeling, though.
You should already be married.
There's nothing left for you at this point. You're hopeless.
Oh man, this is depressing.
I'm sorry, I got in a mood today.
Oh no. Okay, in my opinion, now is your best time.
Yeah, that's also my opinion.
Yeah.
Okay. Are you reading
Oh
from
yeah,
the
I'm reading bottom up. Sorry,
Okay.
I just tend to do that.
Will my anime girl waifu suffice as a girlfriend?
No.
No.
Yeah.
You're one of those guys that has those, like, anime body pillows. It's so weird. No. Get over it.
It might
Find
not
an actual
suffice, but
person.
It'll repel an actual
living
girlfriend.
being.
A Stargirl, an actual person.
Oh
Yeah, but no.
man. Oh, I hate
Yeah,
this
but no.
question.
What is it?
Caleb says, if I propose to both of you
Oh.
during the podcast, will only one
That's
of you say
icky.
yes, or will you both? Like, heck no, I'm not gonna say yes.
That's icky. And I'm too young.
Hey guys.
My parents would hate me forever.
Caleb, do not. You don't ask. Okay,
No.
yeah, the answer is no.
Thank you. I mean,
Thank you.
Rejected.
Oh, okay. So Gideon says, how much ego is too much ego? Are you
Ego.
talking to... I kept reading ego. It's
you
ego,
said
though.
ego.
Hey,
I
guys,
like ego.
listen. I did that with Niagara Falls last time, too. Let's just roll with ego,
dear.
because waffles
Ego.
are better.
Yes.
But confidence is good, ego not good, unless you're fine getting over it. You know, like,
Yeah.
you can't let it control you. If it becomes one of those things where it's like, you can't say sorry because, like, you're too prideful or something, then that's, like, a problem.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah. When someone is so egotistical that they can only, like, compliment and brag about themselves and the people that they're really close with, and then they just, like, don't they don't care about other people or people that they aren't close with, and so, you know, they're always talking themselves up or always talking their close buddies up. That's really annoying. Like, it's good to
Yeah.
have confidence, but don't
no one likes being around that.
yeah. Like, have you ever been around someone who's just like, they just talk themselves up, and then, like, they'll have a best friend and they'll be like, their best friend will do the exact same thing that someone else will do, and then they'll, like, just talk up their best friend.
Yeah.
It's like, support everyone. I feel like that is a big part of being super egotistical.
It's just so
It's
gross when someone's just, like, all about them.
It's
like,
funny.
yeah.
Gross. It's not funny. No one wants to be around that.
In lab rats, it's funny.
I
That's
still like
true.
the thought of Eggos, though.
Eggo. How much
Waffles
Eggo
are
is too
good.
much Eggo?
Guys, I'm having a reading problem. Ever since Corona, I stopped, like, actually doing my homework. And so I just, like, wouldn't read. And now I can't read.
Don't lose it, you use it. I mean,
What?
I meant don't use it, you lose it. I just don't lose
Don't
it.
use it, use it.
Oh man, I am an idiot. Okay, so awesome pants.
Do you have a Corona?
Awesome Pants asks again, how do I find someone who shares my love of arachnids? Join a club?
That's never gonna happen. I'm sorry, but you're an alien
Yeah.
from a different planet.
I mean, you can
Help
go
would.
to a zoo. Go to a zoo and
Yeah.
find a girl who's like really intensely
Wait for
staring
them to
at the
feed the
arachnids.
spiders in
Yeah,
like that
the
bug
worker,
area,
yeah.
and then hit
I
on the
feel like-
worker.
Exactly.
I feel like spiders are in my pants.
Ew.
That's
Like at my knees.
icky.
At my-
Okay. So Awesome Pants asks, what are my skills? Girls only want guys who have great skills. You know, nunchuck skills, bow hunting skills, computer hacking skills. Girls only want boyfriends who have great skills. That's
No
not
skills.
That's not true.
I think wasn't
That's
he quoting
not true.
Napoleon Dynamite?
yes, he was quoting Napoleon Dynamite.
That's your skill, quoting movies.
I
Haley,
mean,
have you
it
seen Napoleon
counts.
Dynamite?
Yeah, I've seen it many
Yeah.
times.
It's a classic. Oh, do you want to open
That's
the
not
door?
what
It's
I
kind of
meant.
hot in here. Is it just me?
No, it's not just you.
Sorry, it's because I'm in here.
But no, you
You
don't.
can open it more than that.
You
so
don't,
we get some breeze in here.
Sorry, my brain is just not. Guys, today's just one of those days, you know? You don't need, like, super cool skills or, like, talents or anything. It's literally all in your personality.
Knowing how to drive is pretty good.
Yeah,
That's not a
you should definitely know how to drive.
Okay,
It's,
basic skills. Have those. But
please
you
be
need-
able to function like a normal person.
Yes.
At that
Are you calling
point,
Ella not a normal
you're
person?
set. Ooh. No, just make sure that, again, just be yourself, and they'll, like, find weird things that they like about you. It's not like you have to make yourself,
Weird
like,
things.
stand out. Yeah. You don't have to make yourself stand out or, like, try to show off different skills. That's what I don't like,
Yeah.
is when people, they try to,
Yeah.
like, talk themselves up or, like, show that they can do all these cool things.
Yeah.
I don't like that. Just, like, let me
Yeah.
figure out what I like about you.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to try to, like, make yourself look all cool and stuff, because then it just backfires.
Yes, I
It does
agree.
the opposite.
Alright, so, Res 1 stance.
Res one stance.
Res 1 stance.
Res 1 stance says, most effective way to assert dominance? T-pose. That's it.
Assert dominance. Well, because this is the gentle giant himself, he doesn't really have to. He's just that much of an absolute unit that
You just look at him.
you
and
just
it's
look at
like,
him and it's like, dominance.
Dominance.
He radiates dominance. But, you don't
There's no way. I don't
to
know.
do that. I think, okay, if we're trying to be serious about this question, which it was a goofy question anyways, but if we're trying to be serious about it, it's just like that leadership role type thing. You can find things to, like,
Sound all the way down.
be
The
a
brightness.
leader
No,
in or
brightness.
about
Yeah.
with words, things.
I'm on airplane mode.
You can find things to try to, like, be a leader in, and that'll, like, show that you're able to do that type of stuff, but just don't be, like, rude about it or, like, icky about it, you know? Like, those controlling people. Don't be controlling about everything.
Yeah.
Ooh. Slotborg.
Oh, is this a
Yeah.
sad one?
Yeah. Okay, is it normal to feel like I don't deserve anyone? If so, how do I get past that, or do I just accept it? That's so, like, not...
Thing is,
I'm
okay,
sorry.
The fact of the matter is that
Everybody
you don't
deserves
deserve-
somebody.
Yeah, everybody. But the thing is, you don't.
You said you don't. She said you do.
Okay, the thing is, you don't, like, deserve someone. Someone might be too bad for you, like, you don't deserve them, but you don't, like, oh, you
Right.
deserve
That's
this.
that's a bad mindset to have. There's a different
Yeah.
way to think
It's not
about
your,
it.
It's not, oh, am I good enough for this person? Am I good enough for this person?
There's a
This person
pot
did
for
good me.
every kettle.
Yeah, you'll find someone who it's not about how good you are if you're good enough for
Right.
them. It's about how you get along, how you work together,
Exactly.
what the bond you form. You're never too good or too bad. You don't deserve anything. No one doesn't. You know. It's not about
Yeah.
deserving. And
Relationships aren't about that. It's just like how well you guys work together. It's
I
not
disagree.
Like
Caleb,
well, your opinion doesn't matter in this situation. But no, that's a bad mindset to have about it because, like I said, there's
and you
literally
never
a
don't
pot for every
deserve
kettle.
anybody.
Are you ever walking through Walmart and you see those couples? You're like, what the heck? How did they find each other? Because it's the weirdest couple you will ever see in your life, but somehow they match each other, you know? And you'll find somebody like that at some point that just works for you.
Mm-hmm.
You just have to give it time and not give up. I don't know. I'm assuming you're like teenager, early 20s, possibly. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, just give it time. You're young. Everyone feels like that at some point, I feel like. And if not, then they're lucky. But, like, I don't... That's just... Change your mindset, please.
Yeah.
Huh?
The white things.
The white things?
The plastic.
Yeah.
Alright, Rio. Sweet stupid.
Change your name back, please. Okay.
It's funny.
Alright, he asks, is it okay to use a roundabout method of talking to my crush on Discord voice chat by asking her if our mutual friend group wants to VC, but knowing that nobody is going to come online except my crush, and that's what I wanted all along, and talk till 3 a.m. I mean, whatever works, buddy.
Gideon.
Yeah. But honestly, though, for real. You know what? You're an adult. They're an adult. That's fine.
I know this was definitely a targeted question at Gideon.
Yeah. It was.
If both of you guys, if your parents are fine with you being up that late talking to the opposite gender, if your parents are still involved in your life like that, then cool, go for it if they're fine with it. If you're Rio's age or like an adult or to the point in your life where your parents don't really have a say in that type of stuff or they just don't care, it's your choice, then if you want to, then sure, there's nothing wrong with it. Oh man, Gideon. Okay, all these good questions this week and I'm just not feeling it. I'm so sorry, guys. Okay, Gideon asks, how do I get over the fear of rejection? Let's say hypothetically, and only hypothetically, I love this girl but I was scared of losing what I had with her already by confessing. Is there any way to overcome that fear and just man up in regards to that fear of losing someone truly cherished? Well, speaking from experience, I don't know. I feel
I'm tired.
at some point, if it's, I hate to say if it's meant to be, then like it'll work itself out because there's so much that like you have to get over and figure out as well. But also, it's just that feeling of like, well, are you going to regret not doing anything about it?
Yeah.
Or are you going to be content with just like staying friends or whatever? But also, if you're good enough friends with them, then they should be mature enough to respond. Whether they like you or not, they should be mature enough about it to like continue being friends and like have that conversation if they don't feel the same way.
Yeah.
Or, I mean, if they do, cool. And then
if they don't, then it's good to like find that out so they're not leading you on.
Right.
Because like they'll probably stop wanting to hang out so much or talk so much or
there will be change and that's what's scary.
Yeah.
But if you guys are,
it's probably going to be healthier because you're going to know
right.
what's going on, what's up. You're not going to be giving all your hope into something that's never going to be.
And I've been in this like same position before and it sucked for a while, but like honestly the end result is like what was needed. So, and that's probably not the case for everybody, but I feel like for a lot of people the way that it ends up is the way that things should go. Because if you're good enough friends, then you'll still stay friends. If you're meant to be together, then you'll like end up being together.
Yeah.
And if you
then
aren't,
get married. That's
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yep, that same exact day. And if you're not meant to be together and you're not that great of friends, then it's like, what are you guys doing right now anyways? If you're not that great of friends, then it becomes that thing where you have to like recognize that you're still only talking to them or somebody is still only in the relationship for the attention or they like think they like you. But that like relationship needs to be like sturdy enough underneath that to like keep the relationship going, whether you guys end up getting together or not.
Yeah, I have no experience in this, so I'm not gonna be able to add anything. So are we good to move on?
Sometimes that's good though, not to like have experience in some stuff, so you can like have that outside
Have the outside view.
Yeah, that's needed in a lot of cases too.
So I'm useful.
Yeah.
Okay, Rio asks, when I ask my girlfriend what her dad's email... This is such a dumb question. When I ask my girlfriend what her dad's email password is it normal to expect a slap? And if so, is it okay that I like getting slapped by girls? And if so, what are some of the other ways I can get slapped by a girl in the face?
I feel like this is getting into something that is not child enough rated for this podcast.
Yeah.
Rio.
That's not Rio.
It
What?
is real.
It is
Oh, it
real.
Rio? Oh, yeah,
Okay.
it is Rio.
Who else would ask this sort of question?
Kind
Yeah.
sir, if you like being slapped by your girlfriend, that's not something I'm willing to talk about in this. That is too far into the realm of adult rated stuff.
Alright, so can we just move on?
Yeah, that's all I have to say about that.
Long one.
Squidtastic Videos says, what do you do when a potential female friend is on a social media break?
Talk to her in person.
Yeah,
Right.
text,
Does
call,
your relationship only
plans.
exist
Figure out
on
their address. and
screw
go and
social
see them.
media.
Yeah, social media is not.
If
the
you
dating
like them,
grounds.
get their phone number. My gosh.
Or just
Yeah.
Man up.
just figure out their address and then just go and visit them.
Yeah,
I
that
mean,
too. That
sure.
works.
But
Social media break.
Randomly.
That shouldn't impede you guys talking.
Yeah,
do-
definitely not.
do you
If
not-
that is the only way you guys can talk, then do not worry about it.
If
Like,
that's the only way that she talks to you, she's not interested.
Exactly.
That's all I have to say.
Exactly.
That's not true.
I feel like it is though. In most cases. Unless you guys are like using a social media platform and talking constantly. If that's like your only form of communication. Also, if it's like Instagram and what you're implying by social media break is she's not posting pictures, you're a creep. If you live every day to wake up and look on Instagram and look at your crush's new post, that's getting
Who
into
doesn't?
stalker pedo mode, okay? Stay away.
Yes.
Who doesn't do that?
Okay.
Undershadow says, what would you say is the appropriate amount of milk a relationship? I remember reading this question. Okay, to milk the relationship. Okay.
What's the appropriate amount of milk?
Obviously, you've got your I found something special video. Then you've got your obligatory several videos where she plays some significant role without explanation. When you've got your Are We Dating video. Okay, yes, the breakup video, submission for Academy Awards. That doesn't seem like enough, though. And any other video suggestions before I get in a relationship also?
Okay, that is seriously, though, do not ever, I mean, I know this is basically making fun of the fact that people make relationship videos,
I
but
feel
please
like that's
do not
so
ever.
stupid.
Don't ever make a relationship
Or
video.
to,
It's
like,
not other people's business.
To
And,
base, like, a YouTube page or
yeah,
account
or like a
account,
series.
not
Off-
a channel.
off of,
I feel
yeah,
like
channel.
if you get married and make one video,
Yeah, like it's okay
That-
to like
that-
Like,
mention
post
it,
your
but don't-
wedding.
Yeah,
no,
don't,
like what?
Or pull a Blimey cow and like have her
What-
featured in some stuff, but like
yeah, don't make it obvious. Like no one.
you don't need
The
to be
fact
like,
of the matter is,
ah,
no
guys,
one cares.
we
that's not,
Except for
that's
okay,
not true.
people do care, but
people
no
do
one
care, but they shouldn't.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. No one who is like normal and has a healthy mindset cares. Only creepos care.
I'm
Yeah.
like, oh cool, Josh and Debbie are engaged.
You are a creepo.
Oh,
You are
Okay.
a stalker. Okay. Oh, Rio asked somebody. Chonky Spider-Man or Gangly Spider-Man?
Did you say chunky or chonky?
Chonky. All the more love of him, right? No. Well, gangly means like tall and thin, right?
Yeah.
And chonky means
I
like
don't.
opposite.
You like that word too much, Rio.
Chonky and gangly.
Gangly.
I don't like that word.
Okay, neither. I
Gangly
don't
fingers
like
stroking
Spider-Man.
your
Actually,
Bible.
Spider-Man is my
Neither.
favorite.
I like Spider-Man.
Spider-Man is my favorite superhero.
I feel like
but
he wouldn't.
No, he's not.
He
I
wouldn't
mean,
be able
that's not what I
to.
meant. I meant he's not the best.
I said he's my favorite.
He wouldn't be able to like hold himself up if he was chunky.
Yeah. So gangly it is.
Web.
Falls. He like rolls places instead of flying.
Flying.
Or like he gives up. Yeah, on his
webbing.
web thing.
Yeah.
Flying on his web.
Whatever. Kayla,
Swinging.
shut up. I knew.
Web swinging.
Everyone knows what I was
Just
talking about.
imagine
Or
Spider-Man
he just like instead of flinging, he just like walks places in his suit. He's just like walking down the sidewalk through the city, walking places.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Oh man.
Oh man.
Okay, Whammy. Does she like me if she gives me high fives when I get knocked out in 9 square or do a cool move in volleyball?
Yes.
I mean,
What
she
it-
definitely
I
notices
want to know
you,
what
so that's
volleyball
cool.
is. Oh wait, no, it's
He
that
explained
squash thing. It's
The
like
what?
volleyball,
It's
but
volleyball with walls.
it's volleyball, but you play it off the wall. I've played that before, and it's actually really fun.
Josh
And then
has
when
played
she
that
gives you
before.
high fives,
Who cares
it
about
does
that?
not mean-
Josh has played it before, and it was not in a place for that, and he hit a light and broke it
Oh my goodness.
Ooh.
at Heatwave
Oh
in
no.
a place that we were
Okay.
renting. It was
But no,
terrible.
I like that game. It's fun. It's cool.
Yeah.
If
Um,
she like initiates, I feel
If
like
she high fives you, that doesn't mean that she likes you, but she definitely is like noticing you and wants to like encourage you. So it could, but like that's just kind of like an opportunity. Like that doesn't really indicate anything.
Like when she
but
goes
it's
to
an
high
opportunity
five,
I
just
don't
to
grab
try
her
to
hand
find
and hold
out.
it.
Oh
no.
no.
That's a one-way ticket to Susstown. If she's like initiating physical contact, there's something. She may be at that. She either likes you or she's at that stage where she's like,
Just how about pay
do I
attention?
like him? Do I not?
Yeah.
I don't think
How
that's
much does
true.
she high five other people when playing?
It depends on like,
So, like-
your guys' relationship.
Yeah, how close are you? How much is she high fiving other people? How is she interacting with other people versus you? It's
Girls?
kind of, everything. Take everything into.
I guess it depends on the girl
Girls that
too.
don't like me touch me.
I guess that depends
Yeah.
on.
Stop.
Depends on the girl, because some girls are just like really touchy or like enthusiastic.
Yeah. Yeah, it depends.
I would actually feel more comfortable like touching someone if I don't like them versus if I like them.
Yeah, me too. Like I think that's like the
If I like
general-
someone, I'm gonna like.
Unless you're super aggressive, like, oh yes, I want to touch.
Yeah,
That's weird.
That's the icky. Those are the icky girls. Stay away from
Yeah.
them. If they're
Like
constantly
the normal-
touching you.
All right, we have
Okay.
another girl has joined us. Would you
You're
touch
gonna-
a boy if you liked him?
Probably not, no.
That's
There we go.
weird.
See?
Don't ask her that.
Caleb's like, you better not. He's like, I'll lock you in the house.
Yeah. Oh man. Okay. Hudson asks.
The violence. Don't shush me. This is my podcast. You can get out of the car.
Yes. Go Hailey. How do I get over my social awkwardness and not tense up around extroverts being extroverted all the time? The thing is, isn't that so much easier?
What?
Being around extroverts, like it's really awkward for me. Like it's hard for me
Oh,
to.
if everyone's just like sitting there in silence on
yeah,
their phone.
it's so
I hate
hard.
that.
And like trying to talk
That's
to
when I
a
wanna
very
leave.
introverted person, it's so hard. It's like
Yeah.
it's really hard. So when someone's being very extroverted, it's so much. It's so easy to talk to them.
Yeah. I
So,
also
I
think
don't-
I'm
don't
kind
know
of
what the
when it comes to
struggle
like
is.
introverts and extroverts, I'm that like middle person. I forget what it's. Do you remember what it's called?
Ambivert.
Yeah. I'm one of those
Don't get
people.
me started on it.
I'm one of those people.
Uh,
The
I
thing is,
Shy
most
extrovert
people.
or-
Okay, not
outgoing.
not all
introvert.
people, but most people would be like that. I mean, are like that.
Yeah.
I
So-
used to be very like introverted, and I had a lot of social anxiety, like a lot, and I
That
didn't
doesn't mean you're an introvert.
ever want to talk to anybody. No, I was an introvert. I promise you. I would purposely avoid like I would not.
Having social anxiety and being an introvert are
Okay, let's not
completely
argue
different
about the
things.
definition.
Caleb, I was an introvert and I had social anxiety. How about that? But then I just decided, it was so bad. Like, I would go to house parties or something where there was like 20 people, and that's not even that much, really.
It's a house
but
party.
for like New Year's or like Halloween, stuff like that. And I would sit in the car, just in silence. I would sit in the car with the doors locked for like a 3-hour thing. I would rather sit in the car alone for that long than, or like take a nap or something, than be like in the house with all of the people.
Why were you there?
So,
Because I had to be there with like my parents, but then
yeah.
like I hated it too, because like I wanted to be that person that was like in there and like talking to people and stuff.
If you ever were around people, what was better, if they were talkative and outgoing or if they were shy? Or like...
It definitely helped if people talked to me, but also it wasn't, I don't know, like people would talk to me and I would talk back to them. It was helpful for conversations, for someone to like start it.
Yeah.
Hurry up.
No.
I'm answering a question, Caleb. Excuse you.
So,
But yeah, and then I hated it so much being like that, and so I ended up praying about it a lot, and over time, I just got a lot more extroverted, I guess you could say.
That's really
I would like push myself way out of my comfort zone to talk to people, and it was super awkward at first. The conversations I had with people were terrible, but over time you get used to like talking and stuff. And I'd actually say it's like one of my strong suits now, like being able to talk to random people and finding things to like keep the conversation going.
that's so cool.
Yeah. So it just takes a lot of practice. You have to push yourself a lot.
Pray about it, practice it. That's how you get over it.
Yeah.
Cool.
You have to be uncomfortable for a long time. Yes. Okay, how to fix a messed up sleep schedule. You got me, dude. My
Don't
sleep
ask me.
schedule is so bad. I became nocturnal for a solid, like, 3 weeks a while ago.
I'm like constantly.
I would stay up till like 5 in the morning.
I make his sleep schedule worse because I encourage him to stay up till 4:20 in the morning.
420?
Blaze it.
Like, wait,
Why?
don't go to sleep yet because 4:20.
Blaze it.
Yeah, exactly.
Wow.
So don't ask me.
I would end up staying, and here's the bad part about my sleep schedule is I would stay up until like 5 in the morning. The sun would start coming up, birds would be chirping.
Yeah.
I'd look up from my phone and be like, oh crap.
Yeah.
I screwed up big time. I messed up. And then I kept doing it for like 3 weeks.
Oh my goodness. I usually am not that bad, but the past couple weeks, so yeah, that's been me.
Yeah. But it's just, I don't know why, but it's just like this onset of terror when you see light through your window. And the birds are chirping. You're like, oh, if my parents knew what I was doing right now, they would kill me.
Yeah. Well, my parents stay up that late too.
Mine don't. They go to bed at like 10:30, 11 most of the time.
Wow.
But my sleep schedule, it's gotten a little bit better. But I would stay up till 5, and then I'd get up at like 10:30.
Yeah.
So I was running on very little sleep for a while.
That's not good.
But I don't care about my sleep schedule enough to fix it.
Yeah, me neither. It's like,
I like
don't know
staying
how
up
to
late.
fix it. I don't even know what to say to this question, though. Like, I mean, we're just proving that
I
we
can
have no
relate.
idea. I know. We can relate. We
That's
cannot
all
fix.
I have to say. I don't want to fix it, honestly. I like staying up late, and then I have stuff I have to do the next day, so I get up when if I have stuff to
also,
do.
I don't know why he's asking this. He's literally told me he does not like going to sleep early because he likes the night better. So,
Yeah.
why are you asking?
I love being
Even if
able
we
to
give you advice,
stay
you're
up
not gonna listen to
at
it.
nighttime because it's like quiet and peaceful.
Yeah.
I have the whole house to myself. I stay in my room, but I just like
You have the whole house to yourself, but you stay in your room.
Well, yeah, because I'm not going to be, like, up and wandering, because then I'll
Yeah.
get in trouble. The almost 18-year-old that's worried about getting in trouble because they're up at 1:30 in the morning. Man, no, but it's just so peaceful, laying in the dark, in the silence.
Yes. Yeah. Okay, well, I think we can move on.
Yeah.
Squidtastic Video says, where to find good girls outside of church, and are work relationships a bad idea?
Don't do a work relationship.
Well, it depends on, like, how mature you are and how much you're able to, like, not... Like, if you're whatever person you're... Caleb, get your face away.
You're gonna... No.
Caleb.
Damn it, Jim.
What did he just say?
You're gonna have to go back to work with them, though, afterwards. And
Oh, yeah,
things
if you
could be
break
very
up.
awkward.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
don't do it.
Guys, I'm gonna say it
Maybe,
again.
like, do
'cause you didn't
volunteer
hear.
work or something to meet good girls. Like, girls who do that are pretty good.
I
Like,
said
I don't
Pam and
know.
Jim.
Pam and Jim?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
I was gonna quote Aaron, because I literally just watched the episode for, like, the...
Who?
Aaron, for, like, the 20th time. You don't know her yet.
Okay.
But yeah, work relationships are the best, because after you break up, you still get to work with the person.
Yeah.
I
I
don't
thought you were
know.
serious at first.
Honestly, well, she was serious when she said it, but it just depends on the people.
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah.
Because if you guys can be mature about it. I also don't see a point to dating if you can't see yourself marrying the person.
Mm-hmm.
You should get to know them a lot before getting into a relationship with
Yeah.
them. So,
Actually, a coworker might be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, that's
might
end up knowing your
that's what
coworker.
I'm getting to. So,
Yeah.
like, if you've worked with them a lot, that's also, like, that's on...
mm-hmm.
I have two sides to this question. One, just like, no, that's not a good idea. But if you do it, then
It's a good place to meet someone.
working with them is good, because, like, you are
You know
with
you
them
can
a
work
lot.
together, yeah.
Yeah. And hopefully you take dating seriously enough that you would only get into a relationship with them if you can see yourself
Oh
marrying
no, I
them.
spilled some on my leg.
Yeah. Caleb, do not drink the hand sanitizer.
Pepsi or Coke? I
This-
don't
how is this
remember what
related?
either of them taste
I know,
like.
I don't drink either.
I don't really
think
drink.
Well,
Coke.
I'm
though-
glad you don't drink.
No,
That's a
no,
good
no.
thing.
I feel
Actually,
like
I do have Pepsi.
I feel like
sometimes.
Pepsi would be better than cocaine.
Caleb, I don't drink Coke ever.
It's
Coke
healthier.
has
I just-
a weird flavor, and
Yeah, I
so
only
does
drink
Pepsi.
That's cocaine.
If I have either of them, it's always Pepsi, because I just don't have the opportunity to drink Coke. But I don't know. I know I had Coke, like, once on an airplane, and I hated it.
I was not allowed to have caffeine for the longest time, and so I was always that kid in class. They would be like, oh, we're having a class party, and I would always be that one, like, hey, can someone bring root beer and Sprite?
Mhm.
Because I wasn't allowed to
Those
have
are
caffeine.
better
I wasn't even
anyway.
allowed to
They
drink
are.
They're
anything.
so much better than Pepsi and Coke.
They are. And
Uh,
I wasn't allowed to drink soda a lot anyways, and I never
Mhm.
did, and I just don't have an interest in drinking a lot of soda,
mhm.
because there's so many other drinks that I like better,
Like water.
that are healthier. I like carbonated water. Quickest way to my heart. Carbonated water. I'm being dead serious. No, I like Canada Dry and stuff like that, like flavored
Oh, yeah.
stuff. But yeah, I wasn't allowed to have caffeine, so I like root beer.
Mhm.
That's my favorite.
Yeah. So
if
neither.
I have to drink
Not
soda.
Pepsi, not Coke, root
Yeah.
beer. Alright. Undershadow asks, if her parents object, what is the easiest way to get rid of them? Depends on how old she is.
Are we answering
Kidnap-
this the smart way or the not smart way?
Kidnap the girl.
I go
The
with the
not
not
Hold her
smart
for
way.
ransom. Tell her that they have to bring $100 to a certain place. Set up a bomb there. They'll get there, expecting to meet you and the girl, and you just
Alright. Oh man, it's not June anymore.
dead.
I
Oh man, it's not June anymore.
was gonna say, in the spirit of June, make her pretend
Whoa.
to be a
I'm
lesbian. Get her parents to be supportive.
I have one of
like,
those.
like,
It's-
you know,
My
pretend to
parents.
be a girl. Okay, pretend to be a girl. And pretend your girlfriend is lesbian. And her parents, in this day and age, cannot be, you know, not
Homophobic?
supportive. Yeah. So they'll be like,
Because
oh, man,
anytime
we
that
can't
you don't
disapprove."
support being gay, you're
Yeah.
a homophobe.
Yeah, exactly. So
You
they'll be
hate
like,
people that are gay if you don't support being
So
gay.
yeah,
And then
pretend
when
to be
you're
a
married,
girl.
take
Pretend your
off the wig.
girlfriend is a lesbian,
And the makeup and show your beard. And then they'll be like, whoa.
Yeah, but by then they'll love you. By then you'll made your way into their hearts. But yeah, so do that.
Doesn't matter
they
if you're
just
a guy
will not
or a
be
girl.
able to object. Yes.
I love this thing. This thing is my friend. I will love this thing and cherish it forever.
This thing
Okay,
is my
so
friend.
If your parents do object, though, do not.
my answer to this question. Can you read it one more time?
If her parents object, what is the easiest way to get rid of them?
To get rid of the parents.
Don't.
I have to think about this one.
One thing is if her parents are really terrible people, don't care.
Is it bad that
Okay.
I've thought about ways to, like, kill people and, like, get away with it?
I mean, I've thought about it.
Not specific people,
But just
Your
to like,
parents?
just for fun. Just be like,
No.
oh, I bet I could do this. Like, you know, that's what. The
Okay,
way I've looked.
I'm not saying eat people, but just...
Eat people.
That's what I'm
Have them
saying.
for dinner.
No, hold on. I'm not saying eat people, but Jeffrey Dahmer melted down people's bodies in, like, things of acid, and then he ground, at that point, after all of, like, the flesh was melted off and stuff, the bones were, like, malleable, is that the right word, malleable enough that he just, like, pounded them down to, like, dust, and then he put them in his backyard, in his garden, where he had hid, like, 2 bodies already. So then he, like, grew stuff on top of them. But my point being, if you want to get rid of them successfully without getting caught,
Melt them and then turn their bones into
melt them
fertilizer.
down. It'll smell really bad. You'll have to find a way to get rid of the acid properly. But melt them down, and then
Then use their bones as fertilizer.
grind up the bones, use them as fertilizer. Jeffrey Dahmer it. If you want to do the ocean thing, like put them in a bag, sink them, whatever, get a bag that will last as long as possible, that you can, like, chain down, break down, whatever. But take them far out into the ocean, and I don't know if what you should do. Okay, here's the thing. Do not meet the parents, because then they won't be able to tell people about you. Don't tell people who you're dating, because then when you kill the parents, if the bodies are found, they'll be able to, like, this is this person, that's who they're dating.
Exactly.
Just,
That seems weird. Why would
you have to erase
I mean,
your tracks
why would
before
they
they
think
begin.
that the people's daughter's boyfriend
They do close.
killed
That's a
their
major
parents?
motive. If the parents disapprove, that's
But how
a
do they
major
know that the parents
motive.
disapprove?
They would figure it out. They also ask all the people closest to, like, the person that died first.
Yeah.
And that's just where they start every time. Because that's, like, the place they can start. But being serious, if the parents don't approve, then try your hardest to, like...
Don't push it. Yeah.
Yeah, don't push it, but, like...
Try your hardest to don't push it.
No, meet them and stuff. Try to get them to like you. Don't, like, not be yourself. Be yourself. But try to, like, get on
Show
their
them
good
your
side.
good side,
And if
yeah.
you can't, then just leave it
Show them your
alone.
bad side.
Wait until
Because-
she's
And kill
old
them.
and independent and
Well, I don't know. A lot of girls then, like, if my parents straight up... That's a
the thing
very
is, it
hard
depends on
thing.
the parents and, like, why they're disapproving. If they're, like, bad parents who
Because
have no relationship with their
Whether
daughter,
they're your parents or not, they're
then-
people on the outside of the relationship, and they can, like, see stuff about the person that
Yeah.
you can't. So
I
you
don't
just
it
have
like
to-
depends
him
on what
being sure
role they
Spider-Man
play
shirts.
in their daughters' lives. In
Exactly.
Yeah.
I
So, like, if
respect
they're
my
just, like, on
parents
the
enough.
outside and just don't care about her, don't, you know, anything, then that's just bad parents. But if they,
Yeah.
like, really care about her, want the best for her, and they're really close to her, and they say no, then that's a sign.
Right. At some point, there's going to be a person that you and your parents like. So if her parents don't like you, don't push it. Because they have their reasons.
Yeah.
And you'll have to live with them for the rest of your life. So,
Live with them?
like,
My stomach is growing so much.
Live-
They're gonna move into their house?
you know what I mean.
I mean, you might.
Is asking
That's
you
what I'm
questions a
planning on.
mistake? No.
When I get married,
I'm
just
gonna
gonna
read the
move
next
in with-
question.
Okay.
Spudson. I found out that the girl I like has an incompatible I don't know how to read that word.
Anagram?
Yeah, anagram type to mine.
Pentagram type?
No. Should I force her to change her type?
Yes!
I remembered
Wait,
going
wait,
over
wait,
this.
no.
You can't
Get-
change your type. It's your personality.
unless you're like a reborn. Save the date of your reborn. What's your spiritual
Hinduism stuff. But no, I remember going over this in psychology, but I actually had to look it up again to like read about it. But it's literally just like
It's the
9 personalities. It's so dumb.
It's
like
has,
horoscopes and stuff.
Yeah,
That
really
type
dumb.
of
I
dumb
can't,
thing.
I can't even joke about it because it's so dumb. It's just like it's like that. It's the sort of thing that's so dumb. I just like. I don't even.
In some ways, I get it. Okay, I get it for like
I have to go.
people's personalities or
Okay.
like understanding them. You have 20 minutes. Shush. I get it if you want to like know different personalities. There's a good way to like map it out. But don't base your life decisions off of that because
if you get together well, you get together well.
right, and don't just
Or get
like
along
try to
well,
fit
not get
people into
together well.
categories because there's so many different
Yeah.
things to a person.
Yeah, exactly.
Bless you.
Excuse me, sorry.
Rio says Tinder.
No.
No.
Should I read the next?
Yeah.
Okay.
Poor Rio. All his questions are getting skipped.
Yeah. Ask better questions, man. Gideon says, is it unreasonable to want a girl who will do it reflector in the car with me? Oh, I was going to listen to that.
That will what?
Duet.
I thought you said... Oh my gosh, this is gonna get PG-13, but I thought you said do it in the car.
I heard the same thing.
I thought you said something about finding a girl that will do it in the car.
No, do not
I heard
ever.
the same.
No.
It's like, first of all, Ella, leave. Second of all, Gideon, you can also leave.
Jesus. Okay.
Do it
Is
in
it
the car.
unreasonable to want a girl who will duet reflector in the car with me?
No, it's not.
No, that's not unreasonable.
Yeah. It's not. Like, it's okay to want a girl who likes the things that you like. Like,
I will sing with another person with the I will duet with somebody. Anyways, bad question, Gideon.
never use the word duet again.
Anyways. Oh gosh. Does pizza cure depression?
Yes.
Slotborg. Temporarily.
What is the actual science? Like, it does. Yeah.
Food makes me
like
happy.
it actually
But
does
then it
help.
makes me
Like
sad.
it does release good chemicals in your brain. Let's see what's the next one. Okay, Caleb says, so I really, really, really like this girl a lot. So much. Wait, this one?
Yeah, either
Okay.
one. Any of them.
Oh,
Any
I
of
am passionate about this. Get ready for a rant. Okay. So much that I've been thinking of marriage. But then I realized that a cheap engagement ring is $2,000. I don't think I want to spend that much, but I don't want her to think I'm cheap. Should I just buy a ring pop instead, or should I buy an expensive one? This is a really big deal, and this could make or break our engagement. Okay, first of all, that's...
You didn't finish the question.
Oh, also, I think she's gay. Okay, but the expensive ring thing. Okay, the thing is... Okay, I want to share a story. I'm setting down my phone because this is...
She's getting into it, guys. You don't see this, but the fire is lit in her eyes.
Okay, so I have gone with... Okay, I have 4 older brothers, and they have been in relationships, serious relationships. I have gone to a jewelry shop
All
to
4 of
buy a
them?
ring. No, some
Okay.
of them. And they were looking at diamonds and stuff, and there was like, okay, the shopkeeper, whatever the person name is.
They're gonna try to sell you the most
Yeah,
expensive
okay, but
stuff.
the thing is, they had this like 400 diamond, and they're like, okay, there's this, but it has, you know, a blemish in it, and then there's this, which is like $1,000, but it's perfect. I don't know the actual prices, but it was like astronomical, and they looked identical to the naked eye. You had to get a microphone, a magnifying glass, and look and stare. I wasn't even able to see the speck. I stared at it, and I could not see it. And my brother was like, "Oh yeah, I'll take the more perfect one." It was like,
I would prefer...
the heck! could spend that money caring for her in other ways. I feel like guys think that they can splurge a ton all at once, and then they're good. They show their love for her. But girls are not like that.
You have to get a house, you have to get food, you have to...
Yeah, okay, the thing is, it's just such a waste of
I
money.
think they just throw common sense out the window. They're like, I love her so much. I want to give her everything. I want to buy, like, the best ring possible.
Yeah, but it's not even the best. It's just...
But I like things that are a little bit,
scam.
like, messed up, which is weird to
Yeah,
say,
they're
but
unique.
I
They're
like,
unique. It's
exactly.
yeah.
I like things that are a little bit messed up. Even, I don't know, I think it would be cool to, like, have
So like
a
a ring
diamond.
pop that's already been licked.
No, I mean, like, if there was a diamond and there was, like, a pebble inside it or something,
yeah.
I would rather have that than just, like, a clear
don't
diamond.
buy a ring from Old Navy or something for $5.
Exactly.
But, like, don't spend $1,000 on a ring. Like, maybe, like,
I just want a
500.
ring I just want a ring that'll,
Like
last
200
and keep
to
its
500
color.
range, you could get a very beautiful ring that is fine. And if she expects you to spend all that money for a ring, I mean, it's supposed to be special because it's the engagement ring.
Yeah.
And it does mean, it's very a special thing. It means a lot.
The meaning
But you
behind
don't
it is more
need
important to me.
Yeah,
and, like,
you don't need to spend all the money. The money doesn't make it worth more.
plus,
Like,
things can look expensive without actually being expensive.
yeah, as long as it's durable.
But I don't
It's
even
good.
want something that looks expensive. I just want
Yeah.
something that looks cool to me.
Yeah. And also, I kind of mentioned this, but I want to go back to this. Someone, like, asked a question one time. Like, they were like, do women prefer, like, 1 rose every week or 52 roses once a year?
I don't care if I get flowers.
And, okay, yeah, but this is just the sort of thing. And, like, because, like,
I
it's a
want
big
one
bouquet.
dead
It's
rose.
beautiful, right?
every year.
Oh my goodness. Okay.
They look cooler than alive roses. I'm not even
Maybe.
joking.
Sometimes, but they don't have a good smell. But anyway, so like a lot of guys were like, "Oh, I should get her 52 roses once a year because it's all together. It's really beautiful, and it's like it's a big thing, right? It's more put together,
Yeah.
and it's more special. It's once a year. It's really good." But like every woman was like, "No, I'd prefer to have 1 rose every week because it's like a constant, even if it's little and not like all that extravagant. It's just a little thing." That it's as a constant thing.
I'd rather have
it
something
makes
not
her feel
as
more
common.
special.
I'm weird. I'd
Yeah,
rather have
but the
something
thing is,
that's
so
not
like when
as
it comes to
common.
money and spending so much money on a ring, you can spend money on her in other ways that will make her feel more special than splurging it all on her engagement ring. You could
Yeah.
buy her like a year's worth of chicken nuggets. And get a very
I just
beautiful
don't
ring.
need a lot of things bought for me, so I
Yeah.
don't know. You can get me a cheap ring, and then you don't have to worry about buying me a bunch of other stuff.
Yeah.
Like I'm easy like that,
Yeah.
and I don't.
That's what I think girls should be like.
And I don't
Like,
want
I
something
think
once
that
a
too,
week,
but I
'cause
can't-
then it
can't
becomes,
speak
like,
for all
not-
girls.
It becomes not special, like, over
Yeah.
time. It's just like a common thing.
No.
I'd rather something that's like more split out. I'm talking with my hands, even though you
Yeah.
can't see them.
Not adding anything.
Anyway, that was my
Yeah.
rant. But I like what Hailey said.
But she's gay, so it doesn't even matter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Are we gonna do Kyle's other question?
Yeah.
Didn't I do 3? Or
Yeah,
I
you did
did
3.
Which one did you
Do the
read?
bigger one first. I
Okay. What if I like someone, but I know they don't like me, but very often I just like...
Barry?
I said very. Imagine what my life would be like with them and got really happy thinking about it, but I'm pretty sure that it'll never happen or never build enough courage to actually try to do something about it, and I'm pretty sure that even if they did, they would turn me down, and it won't happen. And I'm hoping that something will work out, but I feel like they won't ever. I'm sorry, I'm having such a hard time reading. I just can't read.
get the point. This is kind of like Gideon's rejection.
Also, there's no
question, right?
punctuation, Caleb.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
I feel like they won't ever want to, and that if I do ask and try to, they'll get weirded out and stop talking to me, and I'm just, I don't know, LOL. I'm trying. I'm not very good with words, but pretty much I'm scared that I'm wasting my thoughts and hopes on something that will never happen, and I can't stop worrying about it.
That's a super good question. I mean, I don't know. Because, like, I feel like I have done that. Not really. I've never gotten that close. What the heck? Like, I've never gotten that close. Like, I've never actually lied to someone like that. But, like, there's definitely times where you know someone, you, like, kind of build them up in your head. And I, you know, kind of like, oh, what if that could ever be a thing? Like, if it could, I think I would run into this where I'd be like, okay, even if it's, like, seems like it really could be a thing, I would not. I'd be, like, really scared. And I think I would just never do anything about it.
Yeah, I wish I had a lot to say about it, but
the thing is,
I can't relate because I don't get like that with people.
Mm.
So it's hard for me.
I mean, me either, but like I can imagine it. Like I could easily imagine it. But I kind of can, but also I just
same place. Can't because I don't think I'll ever end up being like that with people because I'm just not like a super attached person to people. Like obviously I care about people and stuff.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah.
I just don't care about anyone.
Yeah.
Yeah, everyone can go die in a hole. Don't worry about it too much. You're 16.
Yeah, you'll get... If you're really close to someone and you feel that way, they're, like...
Just have a lot of open conversations about stuff.
Yeah.
That's literally all you
you'll
can
probably
do right
find out more when you're actually, like, deeper into the situation, and it'll be easier. Like, something, maybe she'll show shine.
Show shine. Shoe shine.
Maybe she will shoe shine. No. Never mind. I'm just, yeah.
Maybe she'll become underdog.
Oh, goodness. Okay, I'm going to move on to Caleb's other question. Last question.
That was a good movie.
Caleb says, do girls think emo guys, not e-boys, are hot? Snort.
I did snort.
I mean, okay. I can't answer for all girls, and neither can Hailey answer for all girls. But I feel like this is a good question for us to talk about.
I can answer for my type of girl.
Yeah.
Your type of girl?
What? People.
Oh,
like
yeah. And I can answer for me, because I feel like we're going to have very different opinions on this.
Most likely.
Yeah. So who wants to go first?
You can go first.
Okay, so I do not think emo guys are hot at all.
Very different.
Yeah. The thing is, I'm the type of person, I feel like, I don't know, I like to be very happy. I like happy things. I like joyful things. Things that, like, seem very happy and content. I'm not saying that there can't be any emotion there. But I feel like you don't... I don't know. Okay, with emo guys, they look depressed. I mean, I know, like, Caleb here is emo. And, like, I know what it really is to be emo. Like, he's not, like, depressed. That doesn't make him emo. It's just, like, it's a style. But from the outside...
He's a different type. That also bleeds into Rio's question. I'll get into it when I'm explaining my side of the question.
It feels like they're kind of focusing on depression and dark stuff. And I just don't like that. I like to focus on the happier stuff because, I mean, for me personally, I wanted someone who wears the joy of the Lord on their heart a lot, and, like, reflects that with their life. And I feel like I would never look at an emo and be like, yes, a good Christian man.
Wow,
I mean, even if they were, I'm sorry.
I agree with you on, like, that side of things.
Yeah, so I don't think that, like, wearing the sadness.
No one thinks I'm a Christian.
No, I know you're a Christian, but, like, I'm not expecting you to be those people who are super, like, radical about sharing the joy of God, Like, you're much more sensitive, I feel like, and that's really good. You're very in tune with those hard feelings, which everyone does have, and that's really useful. But generally, I like it when people show their joy more. So, and, like, a guy's relationship with God is very important to me and really does, like, it has a heavy impact on whether I think they're attractive or hot or not.
Yeah.
So, that's just what I think.
I'm in the same boat with you, though, like, on the emotional side of things. Like, I like happy stuff in that sense. Mm-hmm. I just like the style.
Yeah.
I like the look of it. I feel like people can be happy and still, like, it's literally just black clothing.
Yeah.
I like black
Look
clothes.
at me. Wait, 100% black right now.
I like the
You're
style.
black right now.
That's also why I wouldn't consider myself emo or anything. And I mean I wear normal clothes too, but I just like the style.
Yeah. And I
but
can see
that's
that.
why I wouldn't consider myself emo, because emo has like that emotional side like attached to it too, where everything's just like super dark and depressing. And that's what I don't necessarily like.
Yeah.
I like a lot more happy stuff, but
Yeah.
I don't know. It just
As
depends
far
on
as,
the person.
The actual style, as far as pure style goes, I don't think it's hot, but I don't have a problem with it.
I like the style.
Yeah,
what
so
can
that's
I
the
say?
thing. Like, that's just not my style. But the problem that I do have with it is more the emotion behind the style.
Yeah, and that's the problem I have with it. Too.
Yeah. But as a style,
There's
it's
a lot
not
of
bad.
stuff
It doesn't
you
like,
can't fix, but also I have a problem when I don't have a problem with people and their like personal emotions. That's fine, because you can't.
Yeah, and,
you
like,
can't
I don't
really
even
control
care
that.
if someone's like has depression. Like,
I don't
it's
care
okay.
about that at all.
It's fine to be really sensitive and have a lot
normal
of
thing.
hard feelings going on and like emotions that are really hard to deal with.
Depression is a lot more than just like
Yeah, I mean,
feelings, but
well, what I mean was like, that's.
I
not
get what
I
you
meant.
mean. Yeah, I get what you mean.
I don't know the word for it, but like,
Yeah.
you know,
I get that.
I mean,
What I
it's
don't like, the
a big
line
part
that
of someone's
gets
life.
crossed that I don't like, is when you start like feeding
glorifying
into it.
Yeah.
And that goes along with Rio's statement or question that's on there somewhere. He said something about emo people or like trans people or something. I pinned it. Where
Oh, yeah.
like that's how they
top.
define themselves. I agree with him in the sense that I don't like it when you start like feeding into that image, and that's like how you define
Yeah.
yourself.
That's exactly what I think.
I literally only like the style about it. But that's also why people, like you said, they see people like that and they don't automatically think like happy or like stuff like that, because emo in itself is the style on top of the emotional side of things and like feeding into that like dark side of stuff. You're not trying to combat it at that point, you're working with it, and I actually think it makes stuff a lot
You guys never listen to emo
worse
music?
mentally.
It does. Okay.
Hold on. I
music is-
think, like, for me, if I listen to a bunch of like songs about depression or a lot of depressed stuff, I get depressed. Like what you like,
I mean,
feed,
if you're
what you
already
feed yourself.
depressed, it can help you kind of process it. But if you're not already, it's just like I
It
don't know.
depends on the
It's good to deal
person.
with it, and it's good to like.
But the more you
listen to
surround
things
yourself with that stuff, like that
becomes your life. kind
that's
of.
yeah.
It's like
and
you
that's,
feel like you can't like. It's good to have some things that you can relate to and know that you're not alone.
yeah. Like
But
I had
don't
to
make
force
that your
myself.
world, because there's more than just that going
Yeah,
on.
I had to force myself to listen to like overly happy music, and it was disgusting. I hated it. But like over time I started to kind of like get into normal music instead of like depressing music. And like I guarantee, at least for me, it's not necessarily for everybody, or at least they don't see it the same way as I
I
do.
have to go.
But
Okay.
the more you
Right.
surround yourself with that stuff, like that's all you're gonna know. Yeah, like the Bible literally talks about like what you put in is what you get out of it.
Yeah.
You can't expect good stuff to come out of
Mm-hmm.
bad stuff being put in. So
Yeah.
I just like the style. That's all I like about it.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree with. Like, I can see that, and like.
But there are
If
plenty
I like
of
the
happy
style, I
emo
would agree.
people. I just
Yeah.
think
Like, the thing is, like,
don't
I don't
call
think
yourself-
anything is wrong with Caleb here. Like,
No.
I mean, I don't look at him and be like,
I
"Ooh,
just-
a sad, depressed person." You know, it's
I don't
like,
like when people call themselves emo, because that
it
like
kind of seems pretentious.
automatically puts that title on you and
Yeah.
everything that comes with that title.
Mm-hmm.
Just wear black
One thing
clothing
is, like,
if you want.
90% of emo people aren't like that, though. I mean,
But people from
I
the outside.
think they honestly are,
the thing is,
though.
people from the
That's the
outside
thing.
don't see that though. Like,
Yeah.
I know you, so I know a little bit more about like emo stuff, so I know that that's true.
Yeah.
And you're like emo, I guess, so you know that that's true. You're like in that, but like outside of that, like before all this, like when I had no idea, that's all I saw. Like from an outsider, that's all you see.
Yep.
So you kind of have to like, even though it's not true, you do have to think about what it looks like to
Yep.
people who aren't
Pretty much
involved
the question was, am I hot?
NA.
Yeah,
Lainie,
I'm not
you
gonna
have to
answer.
answer it.
Well, of course, you're related to me. I don't
what
think
do
your
you
style
think?
is bad.
Oh no.
Sweet
even
home
worse.
Alabama. Wait, no, that's.
Sweet home Alabama.
Alright. Oh, ew. Alright, I'm leaving.
Bye.
Everyone say bye, Caleb.
Bye, Caleb. How many questions do we have?
Bye.
Just like not that much more. But,
Okay.
Should we should we address Rio's question that is
Which
along
one
these
is it?
lines? The one about emo. I think like we answered it already, but we'll just. So it's Rio says, is it unhealthy for a guy to attach himself? Well, actually, it's your turn to read. Do you want to read it?
Yeah. I have a lot to say about this question, actually. I've said
Okay.
some of it already, but...
Okay.
Is it unhealthy for a guy to attach himself to an identity like emo or something because he's insecure and wants to belong to something? I'm going to split this up into parts so I can answer it more precisely. Insecure and wants to belong to something. See, this is the outsider view on being emo. This is exactly it right here. And I think that it's pretty much fully correct. And a lot of emo people can argue with me about it, and that's fine. But honestly, I know a lot of people that would like call themselves emo, and whether they want to admit it or not, it's a category that you fall into very easily. And all of the emotional side of things and the persona that you play or that people see, it very much so becomes that very easily, which is why I don't try to get into stuff. I literally just like the style, so sometimes I'll wear clothes like it, but I will break up my outfits that are very edgy with other normal outfits. So I'll change things up then and again, but I don't surround myself with just emo music, because it puts you in that mindset whether you want it to or not, and I honestly do 100% think it makes things worse. And people can try to say that listening to that helps them or that they can relate to it. Yeah, you can relate to it, but when you're listening to that music, are you thinking about happy stuff? No. You're thinking about, I'm depressed, or I was depressed like this person's talking about. I had suicidal thoughts like this person did. It's all interconnecting, and you can begin at first just like liking a heavy metal song, but then you start listening to that song, and then you start listening to the album, and then you start finding other people that have the same sound as them, whether you like the lyrics or not. And then you start listening to the lyrics, and they're talking about depression and suicide, anxiety, mental struggles and battles. And even if you find Christian bands that talk about that stuff, it's still talking about that stuff, whether they're Christian or not. That's another reason why I like 21 Pilots, because they have a lot of different sounds to things. They talk about it some in a relatable sense, but then they also have silly, goofy, happy songs. And in the songs where they talk about stuff like that, they also have lyrics in there that can make things happy, but I try not to surround myself by that stuff.
Yeah.
It's definitely unhealthy if you absorb yourself into that, like, emo identity, or really any identity. If you try to turn yourself into that, yeah, it shows kind of that you're, like, unstable about things. So, I have these friends who think that the term emo is a good thing, or that they wrap their entire identities in this concept, and it seems really unhealthy, obsessive, and self-destructive. I can agree with you. I think it is. It depends, and I know there's people that are going to disagree with me, have problems about this when they hear this. But I'm saying this out of love, so just know that. I think it is, honestly.
Unhealthy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it is kind of self-destructive because not even as a Christian, just as a person, your goal in life should be to, even when you're depressed, be happy about stuff or try to get better. When you're sitting and all you're listening to is these songs about depression or how people got out of depression, how people found that light at the end of the super long dark tunnel, you're still listening to that stuff. It doesn't matter whether it's positive or not. There's still that negative side of things, instead of listening to something that's entirely happy.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it is, because there's no way you can tell me that you can listen to all that stuff or get yourself wrapped up in all those things and tell me that it doesn't have an effect on you. You might not think it, you might not see it, you might not believe it, but that's when the people around you come into play. And but yeah, I think it's definitely unhealthy, but also, yeah, that's just that's, you hit the nail on the head, Rio. Because it's, I don't know, it's hard for me because I have multiple people in my life that are like this, and like I try to be super supportive, but also it makes me like really sad if I know that that's like what they're choosing to surround themselves in. And it makes it hard for me because, it's really hard for me actually, because I like that type of music, and I have to limit myself. And there are a lot of times I literally just don't listen to stuff because I know how it'll make me feel in the end. And it's not a good feeling. The lyrics might be talking about like how like God saved them, and stuff like that, but it's still talking about that other stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a good answer. I really like that.
That's why I only like the style. That's the only thing I like about emo is the style. And I don't like it when they're like super into the style either. If you have on just like a pair of like black jeans and like a hoodie or something, that's literally it. That's all
Yeah.
But yeah, it's definitely not healthy for someone to like, if that's what they eat, sleep, and breathe, it's not healthy, because your goal should be to try to, especially if you can relate to that stuff, if you are like depressed or struggling mentally or something like that, like even just, I don't know, I just want the best for you, for anybody that's struggling with anything like that, and I just want them to be happy and mentally secure and stable, and I don't feel like surrounding yourself with that type of stuff is how you get there.
Yeah.
You need to start surrounding yourself with things that make you happy. You need to flush out the things that are keeping, because it's that mindset, it's that mentality. You're keeping your brain, whether you think so or not, whether you want to stay there or not. You could be trying your hardest, or like, man, I really hate being like this, but then you turn on a song about depression. That's getting you nowhere.
Yeah.
And I'm like really passionate about this, but like
it makes complete sense. Like, I agree 100%.
You need to surround yourself, whether you like it or not. I will tell you guys something. I do not like Christian worship stations, just because I don't like the style of music. They're super cheesy. They make everything seem super duper positive about being a Christian, and it's totally fake. It's fake, and on top of that, the songs aren't even that good, other than worshiping God. God is good.
Amen.
Yeah. But I literally got to the point where I deleted multiple playlists on my phone, over like 600 songs I deleted. And I remember one day getting out of class at school, and I sat in the parking lot, and I turned on the Christian music station, and I listened to it for my 2.5-hour break that I had between classes. And I don't know, it was like something clicked. I went from absolutely hating that stuff. Now, I still don't like that music, but now there's a time and a place where I'll turn it on, because that's what I need to hear right then. I just feel I want people that have that mindset, that like emo mindset. I want everybody to get to the point where when they're feeling sad or depressed or something like that, they turn to God, they turn to happy things, they turn to worship songs, whether they're cheesy or not, instead of turning to that music where it's like, hey, I didn't kill myself because I found God. That has a good message behind it,
but it's not what you need
but
to hear
that's not what you need to hear. You might like the music. That's when you need to find music that just avoids that whole topic, because you're just flooding your brain with all that stuff, and it's not good.
Yeah, I agree 100%. I couldn't have said it better.
Sorry, I repeated myself a lot, but I just...
No, it's important to get that point across.
There's a point that needs to get across.
Yeah, because a lot of people disagree with it, and it's like, no, you have to really explain why you think that, and why, it's not you.
But that's what I found too, because like I said, I know so many different people. It's not just one or two or three. So many different people have that mindset, and I have watched the same exact cycle go through for each person. You just need to surround yourself with things that will promote you getting better, not holding you back.
Yeah.
And once you get that down, or once you get better, then you can listen to one or two songs, but pace yourself. If it has a super negative effect on you, don't go back to it. Don't do it. You want that, not temptation. It could be a temptation, but you want that out of your life if it has a bad effect on you, whether you like it or not, because there will be things in life that are appetizing, that you love, that are bright and shiny. And I'm gonna get spiritual here. The devil literally uses that type of stuff that you like. Sin feels good, it tastes good, it looks good, and that's the whole point of it. I'm not saying being depressed is a sin, but feeding into the temptations and the things that are keeping you there is not beneficial to you at all. You want to get that out of your life. You don't want to keep it there. You want to get it out, away.
I love that you're saying this, because that's like exactly how I feel and what I think, but I've never been able to put it in words, and I've never heard someone else say this. Everyone else either is like extreme this side, and it's like, that's true, but you're missing something. But like, you just like, that's exactly what's going on. That's exactly what I think too. Are we gonna move?
Yeah, I'm sorry. We're gonna move on now.
Alright, so... Okay, so Squidtastic Video says, at Queens, you say you've never dated. What is the closest you got?
This is another one. Do you want to go first? Because
Okay,
I have another long...
so-
I'm sorry.
Yeah,
this thing
I'll
is
go
gonna
first
have so much of
because-
me talking.
No, it's fine. It's great. I really never got close at all. I have never known anyone, like, there's never ever been any mutual interest. Like, I've been homeschooled. Like, only last fall, did I start going into an actual school. I mean, I've gone to church and stuff, but there's never been any people around my age at church. And at school, everyone, like, I don't think I've actually known another Christian at school yet. And let alone, I was never really friends with guys there anyway. And so I've just never known anyone. And as far as I know, no one has ever liked me. I've never really liked anyone that much. Like, of course, there have been, like, oh, maybe mild crush. But it's like,
Yeah.
it's never, ever, ever gotten anywhere. That's as close as it got. Me having a mild crush on someone, that's as close as I got to dating.
Yeah. Okay, so 7th grade, this new kid came to my school, and I like had an interest in him, so we started talking, on and off again. And when I say talking, I mean like constantly, all day, every day. There were no boundaries or like times that we wouldn't talk to each other. It got to the point where I like wouldn't do my homework. But it was on and off until 9th grade. It was just like it was just like solid talking to him a lot. 9th through 10th grade. And let's say like November of 10th grade. I'm skipping over so much stuff for you guys' benefit. But let's say 10th grade, at the beginning, November-ish, we both, like, told each other that we liked each other. Yes, we had that kindergarten moment where, like, hey, I like you. Oh, I like you too. And he ended up asking me if I wanted to date him, but we had already been, like, doing all of the things that a couple who's dating would be doing, and we were doing those things, like, beginning of 8th grade, like summer before 8th grade, all the way up through November of 10th grade. So I would actually say that I was like in a relationship because there wasn't anybody else that I had interest in. I didn't try to look for anybody else to have interest in. I was fully invested into that person. And it wasn't a good thing. I ended up telling him no, because at that point there had been like a lot of instances where I was just getting really I'm going to say bad vibes. I don't want to sound like that, but I was getting really bad vibes from him. And different circumstances happened that I'm like not going to go into. Stuff didn't get like super bad or anything. But I have experience in that arena, so a lot of these questions that you guys are asking, I truly am like speaking from the heart because I have stuff like this. If I give you advice on something and I seem super passionate about it, it's because I have experience in that arena. But yeah, I've had the bad side of relationships, I guess you could say, so I'm ready for a good one. Not right now. It's time for a good relationship at some point, hopefully. But that's the thing. I don't regret anything. I never did anything, like, we never did anything terrible. I'm, like, a super innocent person, so just, like, him having his arm around me or something, it was way out of my comfort zone. But yeah, I'm just putting that out there. Nothing happened. But it was a bad enough relationship for me to like have a place to come from when we're talking about this stuff. And it lets me be aware of stuff to watch out for in the future and what I need to see as red flags. All in all, it was a good thing for me to experience. There are some things where I'm like, yeah, sure, I guess I wish that didn't happen. But like I said, nothing terrible, nothing that bad happened, so I don't regret anything. It was just an experience that I'm kind of glad I had. So now I know what to look out for. But yeah. So that's my relationship background.
It's cool that you were like mature enough to like know that and like.
Yeah, and another thing that
a lot of people aren't able to get out of that. They just kind of go off the deep end there.
Yeah, another thing with that friend question, I forget who it was that asked. Oh, was it Gideon? Okay, getting over your fear of asking them out or telling them how you feel. I had the bad outcome for that situation. It's the same thing. It was all in one thing. We were friends for a really long time. I realized that I didn't necessarily like him as a person. I had those goggles on that we talked about last week, where all I saw were the good things in him, and I ignored all of the bad things. But I liked the attention that I was getting from him more than, and I realized this after the thing happened. You don't see any of this when you're in the middle of the relationship, but I only saw the good things in him. I liked the attention that I was getting, so I stuck with it for a while, and yeah, we were best friends, but that friendship was built on me liking the attention and him liking me. So our friendship wasn't really that strong anyways. I think if I didn't have an interest in him and he didn't have an interest in me, doesn't matter what kind of interest, but if we didn't have that interest in each other, I honestly don't think we would have had a friendship like we did. I don't think things would have gotten like that. So, and you know what? Looking back at it, like I said, I don't regret anything. It was a good thing for me. And we still talk to each other time to time. There was a long break afterwards after I said I didn't want to date. There was a time afterwards where we didn't really like talk at all or anything. But then we like started talking again, and after that I realized like just how like bad he was for me. And so now we do kind of like talk to each other and we're on good terms. We talked about things. But in the end it was all for the best. But if you guys have that solid friendship underneath and it's just that, hey, I like you, oh, I'm sorry, I just don't feel like that way about you, and you still have that solid relationship that's not just built on you guys liking each other and liking the attention, then it'll last outside of the relationship if you guys are both mature enough.
Yeah. That's really good. Should we move on?
Yeah.
Alright. And that's not even a question. I don't know what.
On the bottom.
Yeah, like that's what we just read, and like
The
what is
closest
that?
you got. Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, so Squidtastic, he said I almost rode in a van with dating people. It just reminded me of a quick story that I wanted to tell. So this kid in my class, he started dating this girl that was the grade above us, and we took a little trip out to this like beach area. It's called Kayak Point. Near where I live, kind of. It's like 45 minutes away, but we got all in the van to ride over there from the school, and of course this couple sits next to me in the van, and it's one of those like 15 passenger vans, and we were in one of the middle rows, so it was just the 3 seats, and they're super close to each other, and He's a big dude. I want to say like 250. He's a big dude, and she's a tiny skinny girl. But I'm in the aisle seat. He's up against the window. She's in the middle. He has his arm. He's like slouching down in the seat. He has his arm around like her butt and stuff, and he's like rubbing her butt and her thigh. But he's like rubbing mine too. And I literally, oh my gosh, and I tried to do it to where, like, he wouldn't notice, but I, like, had to, like, scoot. Oh, no, I wasn't in the aisle seat. That's right. I didn't have room to scoot over because I was against the window. Oh. She was in the middle, and he was in the aisle seat. So I was squished up against the window already because he's a big dude, so he's taking up a lot of the seating.
Oh my goodness.
I'm squished up against the window, she's squished up against me, and his hand is like rubbing her, but at the same time it's rubbing me. And it was such a bad car ride. I felt like dying.
That is terrible.
Anyways, Squid, your
lucky
comment reminded me of that. But don't sit next to couples in vans. It gets weird.
Oh my goodness.
But yeah, that's why I pinned that. It reminded me of that.
That's great. Right. Everything left is from Squidtastic.
Okay.
Okay, so he says, should I read Twilight as reconnaissance? I don't know that word.
What is it?
Reconnaissance.
Reconnaissance?
Yes. I don't even know what that word means. I've never heard it used.
What's the context of the question?
Should I read Twilight as reconnaissance?
No. Don't read Twilight.
Ever.
It's bad.
Oh, wait, no. I skipped the question. That's not... Okay, well, yes, no. But also, I meant to...
I like
read
Twilight,
the wrong question.
but it's inappropriate. If you're gonna read Twilight, just read the first one. Or watch the first movie. The second one's fine. Don't watch the Breaking Dawns.
Okay.
They're inappropriate.
Guys, take that as a note. Okay.
Yeah.
I missed that if you want to read it.
That one?
Mm-hmm.
How much room is room for Jesus? Like 20, 30 feet.
Across the other side of the world.
Yeah, just stick to webcams.
Yes, exactly. But, like, don't actually show any part of you. Just, like, maybe, like, a strand of your hair.
Don't video chat past 9 p.m.
Yes. No, but seriously,
a strand
whatever.
Of your hair.
Yes. No, but really, just whatever. If either of you are feeling temptation, that's too close.
Yeah.
As close as you can get without temptation. That's where Jesus is.
Exactly.
So he says again, is hiding in the bushes beside her house and shooting her with a Nerf gun at 6 a.m. good flirting or bad flirting? Bad flirting. Okay, moving on. Don't ever do that. Okay.
6 a.m. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. There's the last. That's the last one.
The last one. Okay.
Are you doing the last one? Then we're gonna leave.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it a bad idea to have code names for potential relationships? Oh, okay. I remember this question. It's just the rest is code names. I think that's
Girls do this.
I think it's
I
kind
thought
of.
this is a girl thing.
I've never done it, but I know that people do it. I don't really care if you do it or not. If that's your thing, go for it.
Yeah. Well,
all right. I think that's it for this episode, though.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
That was a really good. I like what we talked about.
I like that one a lot. Listen,
really serious
I would like to
passionate
just
stuff.
say that I love all of you guys, and if you feel attacked, please don't. Everything I say is out of love and care for each person.
Yeah. We're not gonna hate you if you do the opposite.
Right. But like,
and like this is dating advice. You're not dating us, so what do we care anyway?
Like, I don't know. I say everything because I care for people. I'm never gonna like be rude about stuff. I just think that some things need to be brought to light. If no one's gonna, it will hurt somebody more to not say anything than to say something. Yeah. So
if you really love someone and care about them,
you'll say something.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yep. So,
all right. I think that's it though.
Yeah.
So listen to our past podcasts if you haven't.
You need some context. We referenced some of them, so.
And please come back.